Energy companies benefit? Guess who doesn't? Higher education asks for more money, and Norman gets a Main Street makeover. This is OU Nightly. After a long period of pocketbook-friendly gas at the pump, in coming weeks, Oklahomans can expect to see something different: rising prices.
That's because the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, has announced it is slashing production quotas by more than 1 million barrels a day. The decision has caused oil prices to jump 13%. Natural gas prices are up nearly 5%. The oil price surge already has benefited Oklahoma energy companies. Several companies have reached the year's highest stock prices, including Continental Resources, Devon Energy, and Panhandle Oil and Gas. And while energy companies benefit, consumers lose. A AAA says fuel prices are about to rise as much as 10 cents per gallon.
Governor Mary Fallin insists her work as vice chair on Trump's transition team won't affect her duties as governor. In fact, she says her position on the team is good for Oklahoma. According to the governor, the work will involve suggesting candidates for the thousands of jobs the new administration must fill. Fallin also works with dozens of other vice chairs and members of the transition team to give policy advice to the president-elect.
Now that Mary Fallin might be moving on to Washington in 2018, the governor's office could be up for grabs. Democratic leader of the Oklahoma House, Scott Inman, says he's taking a serious look at making a run. Inman's remarks come after former U.S. Representative Dan Boren and State Representative Joe Dorman said they won't run. If Fallin leaves office, the job automatically goes to Republican Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb.
And the Oklahoma Board of Regents plans to ask lawmakers to restore most of the $153 million cut from the current budget. The Regents voted to ask for $957 million. The request will now be sent to the Capitol for consideration.
That means once again, higher education will be a hot legislative topic. In advance of the session, Speaker-elect Charles McCall has pledged to build a better relationship between lawmakers and higher education. McCall invited the Oklahoma State Regents to participate in February's budget hearings.
2 OU students plan to run for the Norman City Council. Tracy Baker, a political science freshman, is running for Ward 7, and public relations senior Victor Reyes is running for Ward 1.
Well, Shea, we're finally seeing some fall weather, a little chilly.
Just in time for winter. Grant, how's the weather going to be?
Yeah, that's right. First day of meteorological winter actually started yesterday, so it is winter now, and next week, we're definitely going to feel winter-like temperatures. Now today, we're seeing some rain across the state, and this is going to become more widespread through tomorrow. Rain showers moving through south central Oklahoma right now. We'll take a closer look at some of these. A few rain showers move earlier today through Ardmore, through McAllister, and through Ada. It's moved to southwestern Oklahoma. Rain showers becoming a little bit heavier in the Texas Panhandle, moving their way up through Altus and Elk City. Temperatures across the state, 59 in Norman, a little bit cooler up in Oklahoma City. Now coming up in rain weather, I'll show you how much rain we can expect. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Grant. Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, President-elect Trump might have an economic leg up heading into the White House.
And Princess Cruise Lines pays a large fine.
Welcome back. Well, another potential change to traffic patterns in downtown Norman has raised the ire of shop owners. As Nightly's Ashley Brown shows us, the City Council wants Main Street to get skinny.
Main and Gray Street in downtown Norman may be going on a road diet. The comprehensive transportation plan adopted by the city in 2014 proposed cutting the streets back down to going 2 ways. Sean O'Leary, Director of Transportation and Public Works, met with residents Monday night to discuss the change.
The lane reduction will have a calming effect. We know this from past experience across the country, and that is what citizens have told us to do. They want to make Main and Gray a less aggressive street.
The city also says the change will improve safety for all roadway users and create a pedestrian-friendly environment.
We've seen it both ways, and we would like it to go back to the way it was.
Mac McGuckin, owner of Goodnow Jewelry, has been on Main Street for over 50 years and would like to see it go back to the way he remembers.
And we had parking meters years ago. We got those taken out, but I was sorry to see it go to one way.
Jennifer Walters, owner of Champions on Display, wants what's best for the business but isn't sure about adding more construction.
Take into consideration the amount of road construction that everyone in Norman has been dealing with and the inconvenience and the frustrations of all of that before they decide to make any major changes.
The city wants the road diet to be included in the streetscape project that will begin January 2017.
I would definitely be for anything that would increase visibility and increase foot traffic in the area.
Ashley Brown, OU Nightly.
Now we go to OU Nightly's Jaycie Bayless in the News Center with the latest on Princess Cruise Line pollution.
Say that's right. Princess Cruise Lines pleaded guilty to 7 felony charges, resulting in the largest financial penalty of its kind. Since 2005, the company has illegally dumped oily waste in the ocean, and it will pay $40 million. Cost saving was the motive, and ship officers and crew conspired to cover up what was going on. Now, the U.S. economy in November added 178,000 jobs, dropping the unemployment rate to 4.6%, the lowest level in 9 years. It's the first unemployment report since the election and ensures the president-elect Donald Trump is inheriting a strong economy. And speaking of the president-elect, on his thank you tour today, he did more than just thank his supporters. He boasted about being Hillary, saying "I told you so," before wrapping things up with a message of unity.
And prejudice in all of its forms. We denounce all of the hatred, and we forcefully reject the language of exclusion and separation. We're going to.
And today marks the 1-year anniversary of the San Bernardino terrorist shooting in California that killed 14 and injured 22.
See? We'll still ahead on OU Nightly, a parrot's perp walk and mugshot.
And Grant is here with weather. Grant?
Rain and much cooler temperatures on the way. I'll show you just how cold it'll get and how much rain we can see coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Grant Tosterud. Currently, we're sitting in temperatures in the upper 50s, 59 right now in Norman. Winds easterly around 6 miles per hour. Today we saw some clearing in the morning, but clouds worked their way back in today with a few rain showers moving their way through southern Oklahoma. Heavier rain showers out in the Texas Panhandle moving their way into Elk City and Altus right now. Now let's take a look at our future radar and see how much rain and where we'll be impacted over tonight and into tomorrow. So rain will start down there in Texas and eventually move its way northeastward into Oklahoma. Now tonight around 11 o'clock tonight, most of it will remain rain in Oklahoma here through western Oklahoma out along I-40 and I-44. But in the Panhandle, that's snow. Yeah, snow out in Guyman. They could see up to 1 to 2 inches overnight and into tomorrow as this storm system begins to move through. Rain is going to hang with us through the morning. Around 8 a.m., still seeing rain showers start to move their way in, really starting to get heavy. So if you're out tailgating tomorrow morning, be sure to stay warm and dry because it will be raining and pretty cold tomorrow morning. As we head to the noon hour, rain filling in even more, becoming more widespread throughout Oklahoma. So we're not going to miss that rain opportunity at all tomorrow, but it's also going to bring some welcome relief to parts of the state. By Saturday evening, that rain will start to move off to the east. We'll still have a few spotty rain showers here in central Oklahoma, but the brunt of it will start to move off to the east. We'll still see a few rain showers throughout Saturday evening as well as into Saturday night and Sunday morning. They'll start to move its way out, and we'll be left with mostly cloudy skies for Sunday. So how much rain can we expect out of this system? We're going to expect to see 0.3 of an inch here in Norman, maybe a little bit higher up in Oklahoma City. Heavier amounts out west as well and to southeastern Oklahoma, where areas of that portion of the state really need it, where drought is starting to creep its way back in. So this is tonight and tomorrow. We're going to expect rain, or the precipitation to stay mostly rain here in most of Oklahoma. A few mixed showers and sleet in through northwestern Oklahoma into Woodward, but Guyman, it's going to remain mostly snow tomorrow and into tonight. Now, tonight, 43 in Norman, 43 in Oklahoma City, really cold out in Guyman, 29 up in the Panhandle. Now, tomorrow, rain all day, staying in the mid-40s, easterly winds becoming a bit stronger during the day, but then dying back off again. Across the state, temperatures in the 40s for the most part tomorrow, not really changing much. 46 on Saturday, 53 on Sunday. Rain ends on Sunday, but then Monday we get a relief. Or Monday, we have a chance of rain again. Tuesday, we get some relief, but then some really Arctic air starts to move its way in the end of next week. So it's really going to start feeling like winter at the end of next week, guys.
Man, I am dreading tomorrow.
I know.
Thank you, Grant. Well, that's it for news this Friday night, but don't leave just yet. Big Friday Sports is on deck.
Our sports team gives you an extended look at what's happening in sports, and Blakely is here with more.
Thanks, Shea. Today on Big Friday Sports, we're talking Bedlam. The Sooners are taking on the Cowboys tomorrow, and the Big 12 title is on the line. We'll tell you what you need to know about this rivalry coming up. Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Blakely Durham.
And I'm Stephen Mudd. Bedlam is less than 24 hours away and things are getting heated. A Twitter account called Pistols Firing tweeted out this tweet. It's hard to believe OU is a 2-touchdown favorite when OSU has the better receivers, defense, special teams, and a much better quarterback. What? Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Timeout, flag on the play. Let's break this down real quick, okay? The defense, sure, OSU can have that one. Now, special teams, come on. Westbrook and Mixon both have returns for touchdowns, which OSU has 0 returns for touchdowns, so that's a bit awkward. Offense is simple. Baker Mayfield leads the nation in QBR and passer rating. He has more touchdowns than Rudolph on less pass attempts. Oh, not to mention Dede and Baker are in the top 3 of the Heisman race. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, the audacity to tweet that.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't. I'm done. Blakely, I can't.
We'll see how things.
I just can't.
We'll see how things end up on Saturday.
I guess we will.
The Sooners are going to have to win the turnover battle on Saturday if they want to win this game. Rain is in the forecast, so the ball will be slick, and the defense needs to try to force fumbles and get the ball back into Mayfield's hands. This team has a history of playing well in rough weather conditions, and against West Virginia, the defense had 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. They're going to have to do that again tomorrow in order to keep the Cowboys from putting up those big numbers.
Blakely, great minds somewhat think alike, my friend. In order for OU to have turnovers, the secondary has to play well. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys came out and tried to pick on the freshman Jordan Parker. So in order for the Sooners to have a great defensive game, the secondary has to make big plays, help over the top with the safeties, and bait Rudolph into making mistakes. The Cowboys have a good receiving core, not better than OU's, but the secondary needs to be clicking on all cylinders.
Well, as far as the offensive side of the ball goes, the Sooners need to run the ball. Like I talked about before, weather will be a factor in this game, and the Sooners need to put the ball in the hands of Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. Mayfield will get his shots downfield with Dede Westbrook, but I really think Mixon and Perine need to run for at least 200 yards combined and have a couple of touchdowns each. Establishing the run game early will be key in winning this one.
I agree. Yes, they have to run it, and in order to run it, the offensive line has to keep playing well. In the first 4 games, the O-line gave up 13 sacks. In the last 7 games, the O-line has given up 7 sacks. Only 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they've done a lot better.
If the Sooners want to keep winning, they have to keep protecting Baker Mayfield and opening up the holes for the running backs. Now, obviously, this is a big game to the fans, but to the players of OU, it's even bigger.
Last year doesn't matter at all. I mean, talk about, if you're going to talk about last year, you need to talk about the last time they came to town, they won, and then the time before that, it was an overtime game. So every time they come here, it's a tight game. That's how rivalry games are. They bring their A game when they come to Norman, so got to know what you're getting into, and we'll be prepared for it.
They're a very athletic team. They're going to be physical, and obviously with this type of rivalry game, it's going to be physical, and they're going to come out and hit us in the mouth, and so we just got to go out and respond to that, and take it as a an insult and play hard.
Well, I just think they're a much more complete team, this year opposed to probably any time last year. They run the ball well. Their offensive line's playing well. Their backs are playing well. The receivers, the whole crew. So, they give you a lot to defend.
I feel like, we've been doing better. We've gotten better each and every week. And, we've put an emphasis on basically just running the football and basically just going hard. Even if it's the wrong thing, go hard every play.
A little little more Bedlam action for you. OU Wrestling will be taking on the Cowboys tonight at home. A big match for these two teams as OU is ranked 16th and OSU is number 1. The Sooners are coming off a win last week against North Dakota State. The match is set for 7 p.m. at the McCaslin Fieldhouse.
Tomorrow is obviously Bedlam, but don't overlook the OU men's basketball team tomorrow as they take on the 17th ranked Wisconsin Badgers at noon in Madison. The last time the Sooners faced the Badgers, they had a different looking squad than they do this year. This year's team doesn't feature Buddy Hield, Ryan Spangler, or Isaiah Cousins. If the Sooners want to escape Madison with an upset, they will need to rely on the play of Christian Doolittle, as well as the leadership of Jordan Woodard, Kadeem Lattin, and Dante Buford.
Wisconsin's a top-ranked team. Our guys respect that, know that we've got to go in there and value the ball and compete like crazy on the boards and defensively and try to get a good shot each time offensively. So another opportunity to take a step.
Still to come on Big Friday Sports, the OU women's basketball team lost their first game of the season.
And Thursday Night Football didn't disappoint. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. We've got plenty more to get to. Blakely, tell us what's going on.
All right, well, the women's basketball team suffered their first loss in a tough top 20 matchup against Kentucky last night. The number 12 Sooners visited Lexington to take on the number 17 Kentucky Wildcats and fell short after the Wildcats outscored the Sooners 49-25 in the second half. Peyton Little led the team with 19 points and Vivi Pierre-Louise had her third double-double on the season. The Sooners play again Sunday in Norman at 2.
It's championship weekend and it starts tonight. The 17th ranked Western Michigan Broncos play the Ohio Bobcats for the MAC title game in Detroit, Michigan. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock. But the biggest game of the night is the Pac-12 title game between the 4th ranked Washington Huskies and the 8th ranked Colorado Buffaloes. The winner of this game has a good chance to make the college football playoff.
That'll be a good one. Thursday Night Football in Minneapolis last night, Vikings hosted Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. We take you to the second quarter, and here we go. Prescott will find... Here we are. Who else? Number 88, Des Bryant, almost with the touchdown. He ends up on the 1-yard line in that diving catch, but have no fear. Ezekiel Elliott would punch it in on 1st and goal to get the boys up 7-3. More Bryant action in the 4th. He walks this one in on the edge of the end zone. Boys up 14-9. Sammy B to McKinnon. 25 seconds left, giving the Vikings a chance. They have to go for 2, though. Right here, and it's way off target. No chance on that one. The boys will get the win 17-15. And big news in the NFL, Rob Gronkowski is out for the rest of the season with a back injury. That leaves the Pats with a huge hole to fill as Gronk is the most efficient part of their offense. Brady said it's a big loss for the team, but they will have to figure out a way to win without him. Meanwhile, the AFC race to the playoffs seems a little more wide open now.
Moving to the NBA, the Los Angeles Clippers had a statement win last night against the defending champs, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving had a game-high 28 points, but other than that, the Cavaliers stunk it up. LeBron James went 6 of 11 from the charity stripe. The Cavaliers had 18 turnovers and got out-rebounded by 10. As for the Clippers, they shot about 42% from deep, while racking up 33 assists compared to the Cavs' 12. But it was J.J. Redick's night, shooting 9 of 13 from the field and finishing with a team high of 23 points.
And the Rockets took down the Warriors last night at home in a thrilling double overtime game. This is the Warriors' 3rd loss on the season. Harden and Anderson both had 29 points, and Gordon came off the bench adding 23. As the Rockets proved, they have more offensive weapons than just James Harden. Kevin Durant was the highlight for the Warriors, scoring 39, and Curry only had 29 after getting into some foul trouble and having to sit. In the end, the Rockets outscored the Warriors in double overtime and came out on top 132-127.
Another streak ended yesterday and today. Tiger Woods is back in action for the first time in 15 months. Over the past 2 days, Tiger Woods competed in the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. Yesterday, Woods struggled in the first round, shooting a +1, but today was straight vintage Tiger. He shot a 7 under 65 today in the second round of the tourney and looks to keep improving.
The new Jordan ad takes an old twist and for the new brand that they just recently released. Take a look at this.
It's the same story it's always been. There's the heroes and there's the villains.
In breaking news, the original Super Team is back.
Forget the death lineup. This is the apocalypse lineup.
They're fouling everybody.
What
What's up, jocks? Monsters again, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. You'll need some of these, a lot of these. Oh, and one of these.
Blake Griffin? What'd you expect? Elmer Fudd?
That joke again.
Oh, like you don't say what's up, Doc, every day?
Thank you so much for watching OU Nightly's Big Friday Sports. Be sure to join us after the new year for a look at Sooner Sports when OU Nightly returns.
On behalf of our OU Nightly team, have a great weekend and happy holidays.
Good night.